final piece of the puzzle of the World Cup Sweet 16 is about to be determined in Kansas City tonight. And if it's anything like the first several matches of this round, we're in for a doozy. It's South America meets Africa from the land of Arrowhead, the land of America's new most famous married couple. It is Colombia against Ghana. No shortchanged invitations here. Good evening, everybody. I'm Seth Eaves. Welcome to Kansas City, which is not the capital of Missouri. That's Jefferson City. Delighted to have you with us for this great matchup here. The last match of the round of 32. We should have a banger between Colombia and Ghana. You see the bracket there. Next stop, Vancouver for tonight's winners, and a date with Switzerland in the last 16. We are just about ready to hit this one on the road. You see the lineups there. Colombia go they 4-3-3. Vargas, Mojica, Lucini, and Sanchez. Of course, James Rodriguez gets a start. And among those in Ghana's 4-1-4-1 includes Partey, the exciting Semenyo, and the veteran Ayew, the captain for Carlos Queiroz' men. South America against Africa. As mentioned, Ghana trying to reach the round of 16 for the third time in their history. They also did it back in 2006 and in 2010. In 2010, they made it all the way to the quarterfinals. They suffered that stunning, heartbreaking loss to Uruguay. It's going to be Colombia who will be, when the ball gets kicked, it will be Colombia. They get it kicked now, and we are underway. Colombia and Ghana. It is Colombia going from left to right in their gold shirts, and Ghana will go from right to left in their white. A most interesting encounter. We think we have a pretty good one on paper. Again, if it's like the rest of the tournament, we're going to have a really, really good one then on paper. Match official tonight, one of the best in the business, Clement Turpin of France. A touch for the Ghanaian goalkeeper, Lawrence It Ziggy, who plays for the Swiss club St. Gallen. Here come Colombia now trying to head it forward, and it's been intercepted by Ghana. Right-hand side, here is Sidhu, and he'll give it up. Ghana 73rd of the FIFA rankings, Colombia 13. Here's a cross. Aim for Semenyo, headed away. Rodriguez back there providing defensive. Another shot comes in, and Thomas Partey was inches away from a blockbuster start for the Black Stars. My goodness. The Villarreal and ex-Arsenal man having a heck of a go. Camilo Vargas was beaten, but fortunately for him, it was well wide. But not bad for a team in Ghana who had the fewest shots of any team of the group stage, just 15. 90 seconds in. Colombia playing from the back here. Here is Munoz with a touch. Munoz with it. Daniel Munoz. And he'll pass it back. In Colombia, a great flair about them. They've been something that could be a true dark horse in this knockout round. Long ball for Luis Diaz. And out of play. Last touch by the backtracking Ghanaian defender, I believe, Marvin Sanaya. Oh, no, he kicked it off of Diaz's head, I believe. So that's a very fortunate break there. Ghana are not exactly what you would call possession merchants. 38% against Panama, 21% against England, and 46% against Croatia. Colombia, winners in Group K, picking up 7 points of a possible 9. Beat Uzbekistan 3-1 and DR Congo 1-0 before drawing 0-0 with Portugal. They had 59 shots in the group stage, third most of any team. Ghana got in as one of the lucky third-place teams, if you will, finishing on 4 points behind England and Croatia. They beat Panama 1-0, drew 0-0 with England before a 2-1 loss to Croatia in their final match. But they were plenty high enough in tiebreakers to get one of the best third-place slots. Here's Puerta with it now for Colombia. Now James Rodriguez, the veteran. Now back to Puerta. Now Sanchez. Colombia in the knockouts for the 4th time ever. 1990, 2014, and 2018. More on the history of that in just a minute. Here's a ball into the penalty area. But Ghana have the spaces covered, and Semenyo back there tracking. Antoine Semenyo. If anybody's going to be considered a playmaker and a lightning rod for this Ghanaian side, you would look to him. The man who, of course, joined Manchester City from Bournemouth in the winter transfer window and had his moments for sure for City as they fell just short of another Premier League championship. Still picked up a domestic cup double in England, did Pep Guardiola's men. Of course, Pep no longer with City, and some people can say, thank goodness for that. Again, that's just some people that would say that. Ball being played out here for Sanaya. Out of play it goes on 4 minutes. Mentioned Colombia at the FIFA World Cup. Colombia playing Ghana for the first time ever, playing their second African nation of this tournament, playing DR Congo in the last World Cup. They had one match, or the last World Cup they made in 2018, they played one match against an African nation. They beat Senegal 1-0. They have a pretty decent record. I have a figure, the last time they lost to an African team in a World Cup, you have to go back to the 1990 round of 16. Ball looking for Diaz, and it goes out of play. They lost in extra time to Cameroon. That was their round of 16. Their best effort was the quarterfinals in 2014. Beat Uruguay 2-0 on that Rodriguez stunner before a 2-1 loss to the host Brazil. And then in 18, they lost on penalties to England. Long ball right-hand side. Munoz, and linesman runs into the linesman there. That's the only blemish they have against African nations, Colombia. They beat Tunisia in 98, Cote d'Ivoire in 14, Senegal in 18, and DR Congo earlier in this tournament. There's another ball right-hand side. And you're trying to chase and could not. Ghana, as we mentioned, round of 16 in 2006, their first tournament, losing to Brazil, and then reached the quarterfinals in 10. They were grouped in both 14 and 22, as we have a foul. And oh my goodness, how about shirt tugging? A lot of that going on between Cordoba and Apoku. But it's Ghana who have possession in their own half, and now is that Cordoba who's still lying on his back. Play continues on with Ghana on this right-hand side. Long ball being played. And a half touch for IU, and IU couldn't keep it in. We mentioned Colombia's record against African nations at the World Cup. It's not exactly been a great run for Ghana against South American sides. The aforementioned 3-0 loss to Brazil in 06 and the penalty loss to Uruguay in 2010. But their 2-0 loss to Uruguay in 2022 did feel like a win because they didn't concede any more goals that would have sent Uruguay through. And of course, if you know the history of Ghana and Uruguay, you'll understand why that was such an important deal. Play goes to player Munoz just getting up to finish up the nuts and bolts of history, if you will. Ghana's a 4-time African champion. They haven't won that since 1982. Colombia, for what it's worth, only one Copa America success. That was back in 2001. And Cordoba is going to be unable to continue. So in the 8th minute, Colombia will have to bring on a substitute here. Jean Cordoba is off, and on will be Luis Suarez, 28 years old, who plays his club football in Portugal for Sporting Lisbon. Joined there in 25 after a great run at Almeria, which included him being the Spanish Segunda Division's top scorer in 2025. Sanchez cleared away. He scored 4 goals last September in a 6-3 qualifying win against Venezuela. Here's Colombia trying to break as play resumes, and they do have some numbers. Suarez getting a very early involvement here. Finds Luis Diaz. Diaz into the penalty area. Down he goes. Clement Turpin says, play on. And then another foul. I thought it was a foul by Arias, but Colombia's kept it alive. And now play has been blown dead. Colombia coached by an Argentine, 60-year-old Nestor Lorenzo from Villasenina, Argentina. He played for Argentina in the 1990 World Cup. And also in the finals. He was an assistant for 7 years for Colombia. Was an assistant for both their 14 and 18 World Cup appearances. Took Colombia to the Copa America final 2 years ago, as Diaz was in a battle with Sanaya there. Of course, July 2024, they had a just about a couple of years ago, they had an unbeaten streak that went 28 games, included wins over teams such as Germany, Brazil, Uruguay, and Spain. They scored 12 goals in that Copa America 2024 campaign. We mentioned their highest record competition. Sanaya is up, and that is good news. Will he continue on is a better question. As he is holding his right backside or right thigh muscle. Let's go with that. It's more politically correct term. Colombia now have it. 10 minutes in. Colombia nil, Ghana nil. Final match of the round of 32. Seth Eaves with you here for the Ultimate Sports Media Folk Crew. Colombia, Ghana. South America versus Africa clash to determine who goes to the World Cup's round of 16. Here is Sanchez. Long ball left-hand side. Volley comes in. Suarez tried to attack it nowhere close, but the cross was deflected, and it will be behind for a Colombia quarter. And Lerma gets the crowd fired up. As you would imagine, a lot of Colombian yellow in the stands in Kansas City. Rodriguez plays the corner short. Diaz gives it up. 1-2 back to Rodriguez. Lifts in the cross, headed away. Now it's Arias. Now Arias tries to keep it in. John Arias, Colombia with 74% possession. Here is Jefferson Lerma. Now we got Rodriguez trying to chip it in left side. Rocky Williams getting a touch for Ghana, and then down he goes in a heap, and Clement Turpin wants a word with John Arias. Ghana managed by a man who is quite experienced in the managerial game. 73-year-old Carlos Queiroz, born in Mozambique, in Portuguese Mozambique, has managed several clubs. Among his managerial exploits included 2 stints as the manager of the Portuguese national team. He's also managed Sporting Lisbon, the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, Nagoya Grampus 8, and Real Madrid. As far as other international clubs he's managed, he's been the manager of the United Arab Emirates, or as some would call it, the United Arab Emirates, South Africa, Iran, Colombia, Egypt, Iran again, Qatar, and Oman. Oman. So Ghana's going to make a substitution here. Sanaya will not be able to continue, and Alidou Seydou is going to come on here. 26-year-old who plays his club football for Rennes in the French league. If only we had Pierre Monster with us, give you a scouting report on him. He is, of course, our French football expert extraordinaire. 0-0 here. But yes, Queiroz, no stranger. Of course, an assistant at Manchester United as well. To say he's been around the block a time or two would be an understatement. Now Colombia fans start the wave. Play has resumed. Colombia has it in their own half. He does have 2 World Youth Championships when he was managing Portugal's under-20 side back in 1989 and again in 1991. Here is Lukumi for Colombia. Jean Lukumi. Rodriguez, the right side. Now gets it back over to Munoz. The way producer extraordinaire JT, hold that thought. Here comes Suarez trying to work in. Suarez keeps the cross going, and it's a chance, and it's a goal. It's touched in by John Arias. Colombia hit the front. Great ball eluded the first man, but unmarked on the far side was Arias. He could not miss, and Colombia strike first. 1-0 Colombia. And Jean Arias scoring his 7th international goal for Colombia. The previous 6 had all been in friendlies. This one's a little more than a friendly. Interestingly enough, though, 6 of his 7 goals have been scored in these United States. It's a great cross. It missed the head of Diaz, but Arias there to tuck it in. John Arias with a cool and clinical finish. And as the clock has just hit 15, Colombia lead by a goal to nil. What I was going to say about JT before that cross happened is JT, our producer extraordinaire, the wonderful JT, I'm sure in love with the fact that, just loves the fact that Colombia has 2 Crystal Palace players on it. John Arias with 7 goals. Now, thank you, World FIFA, for confirming what I'd already mentioned. Colombia's won 11 straight World Cup matches in which they score first. That's the task that Ghana must face as the ball rolls to Camilo Vargas, who plays his club football in Mexico for Atlas. 37 years of age. He's made over 240 appearances for that club, Atlas. Started to really develop himself as Colombia's number 1. Now here is Munoz, and he's going to play it back to Vargas. So still 1-0 in favor of Colombia. 16.5 minutes gone in this round of 32 match. Colombia trying to run forward here. Kick into the box. Now they'll play it back. You mentioned, one thing I like to mention is if there's any players in these games that have any ties to any of the host nations. I just mentioned that. We have Vargas, who plays for Atlas. Of course, Colombia do have 1 MLS player. Hold that thought as they're coming again left-hand side. Another ball that's going to be too deep for anybody to chase. Well, Munoz is going to give it the old college try, but instead got the old grade school failure of it. Again, glad to have you with us here on the Ultimate Sports Media. And again, if you like what you see, or more importantly here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so that way you'll be first to know when we go on air. And we're back on air tomorrow for the 2 round of 16 matches. Well, Gianni Infantino didn't make it. Wow. How dare he? Some people there. Is that Carlos Puyol up there in the executive boxes? Jordan Ayew has a conversation. Going back to what I was saying about players with ties with North America, there is one MLS player on the Colombia side. It is James, of course, who plays for Minnesota United. He's made 6 appearances for him, just recently signed with them. And then another player who plays in Mexico is the substitute defender Willard Dita, who plays for Cruz Azul. Here is Arias. Colombia with 114 passes to Ghana's 25. No Liga MX or MLS players in the Ghanaian team. And Munoz commits the foul on Semenyo. Colombia have it back inside their own half. Boy, Vargas Braley comes off his line and boots it pretty far. Now Luis Diaz trying to work it. Now Puerta. Puerta, good ball. Here's a shot from distance, and it's straight forward from Ziga. Decent hit that from Diaz, but it was a relatively straightforward save. The round of 16 at the World Cup begins tomorrow. We'll have both matches of the round of 16 tomorrow. Yours truly will be on the call at 1 Eastern in Houston, Canada, and Morocco. And then at 5 o'clock Eastern, France, Mbappe and co. will meet Paraguay in Philadelphia. That'll be tomorrow. In the World Cup on Ultimate Sports Media. Here's another cross, a little bit too deep. Now we have just passed 20 minutes. Colombia trying to squeeze it into the box. 22nd minute. Third minute. Ghana with it back. This is Thomas Partey. And Thomas Partey now with it. 23rd minute of play. 1-0 to lead for Colombia. Now Colombia have it in the back. Had to get some things scratched out here. We'll have to step aside when we get to the hydration break, which will not be too much longer from right now. Seth Eaves, along with our producer, JT. Hopefully he didn't leave after these apart. After he says hello, hope he didn't depart after the Crystal Palace comments I made earlier. He's still with us. Matthew Owens catching his breath. He'll be with us at halftime to talk about the day's events and the round of 32. Put a bow on the round of 32 in general. That's coming up again at intermission.
Just a reminder here, Vizina, who was the Cape Verde Masterclass, is a free agent. I have just learned that Vizina is a free agent. Insane. That makes it even more insane.
yeah, and the fact that he's 40 years old too. But I wonder if there'll
Exactly.
be like I don't know about a big club, but I wonder if like some of these you know clubs that you would say are 7th to 12th place on paper in one of these European leagues will pick him up after this run. As there's a push.
Salisbury would love him.
Who would love him?
Salisbury would love him.
Salisbury. Yep. There you go. Hey, non-league football, nothing like it. All right. Time for a segment of JT Waffles. We think we're getting Visine sponsorship after something that was uttered off the air, but JT, you waffle for about a minute or so. It's Colombia 1, Ghana 0.
And I'll jump in here just to help you along, JT. It sounds like it's been
Oh, hello.
sounds
Hi.
like it's been a crazy start.
Yeah, Matthew, I've just learned this. Vizinia's a free agent. He's not signed by anyone.
Oh, it's moments like this why I wonder. When I wonder. Why did I say that I would?
wonder.
Why in the world did I stick around and say that I would produce the second game? I'm about to pass out. I can't.
Matthew is hyperventilating.
I can't stand on my 2 feet.
Okay,
I
I do.
I have
I
to
do
turn.
like
Still in
what
recovery mode,
ITV
are you,
have done
Owens?
there.
Still, just can't even.
I do actually like what ITV have done now with showing the round of 16 game that it's going to be Switzerland versus either of these teams, where they've done a half and half flag. Nice.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
I need
back
someone.
to-
I need someone, JT or Matt White or anyone. I need someone to send me John Champion's calls because it's can't find it anywhere else because geo blocked because we're trading state secrets, but whatever.
Like I said, John Champion's call is electric, but knowing how high he can get up, I think if Seb Hutchinson had been in the game, he would have literally jumped out of the boot and onto the 50-yard line if he'd have been doing it.
I've seen.
How is it Geo? It's her Fox Geo blocked it in America.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What?
Well, now on that end, consider yourself lucky that you don't get to hear some of the Fox calls.
Yeah.
From there.
No kidding. Good God. I still haven't gone back and heard that, but I'm sure it was rough. Good God. 64% possession, Colombia. Jesus.
For me, it's geo blocked, but that's because I'm a prick trying to get an American tweet. But I didn't realize that an American tweet would be a geo blocked in America.
No, it's.
Oh no, it's not. No, I'm looking for John Champion's call on ITV.
ITVs. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
You'll have to get Matt on the case for that
exactly.
one. People's Court team. Goodness. All right. Well, Matthew, you get a breath. You get some of that Sprite tea, and we'll be back with you at halftime. As I got my own diet cherry lemon sun drop.
Wait, hold on. What diet?
Lemon, diet cherry lemon sun drop. The people at home won't be able to see it. Let me turn my camera on and you can see it right there, JT. There you see.
Okay. That logo from afar looks like Bass Pro Shops.
Okay. Interesting. I've thought about it like that. The Sundrop brand is very popular in the Carolinas up here. It's kind of
is it available in Florida?
Maybe. Doubtful, but maybe. Sundrop and Cheerwine are big here in the Carolinas, though. Matt, we'll get Matthew to send you a case for your Florida trip or something. We'll mail it to you or something. Anyway, this edition of JT Learns American Food and Drink is brought to you by, sponsored by Noble and Unsullied by sponsorship since 7 months ago. Thank you, Dr. O'Neill, as we resume action. Colombia with the ball, and then they lose it. 27, about to be 28 minutes on the clock. Colombia 1, Ghana 0 at the Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Are they calling it that, or are they just calling it the Kansas City Stadium? All we know is Ghana's playing. They had that famous witch doctor. There's been plenty of voodoo-like happenings that have happened in this stadium in the last decade or so. Sanchez with it from his own half. Sorry, not sorry to any Chiefs fans that might have stumbled upon this. Colombia with it now with Hamas. It's Colombia with just trying to string together some passes inside of their own half. Here is Diaz. Good layoff. Cross comes in. It's headed away. Only as far as Rodriguez, about the same area of the pitch he scored that worldie against Uruguay 12 years ago. He didn't try it this time. And now Ghana with a potential breakaway here. Ball that's going to be way too long and through too many bodies. I'm promoting the World Cup. Heck, you could see you see the graphic on your screen there of what has happened today and what will happen tomorrow as we begin the round of 16 in this tournament. I just wanted to hear myself talk, I guess. That's what some people will say, at least.
We have like 15 coming up on the network graphics for half time, which you will be able to hear Seth's own voice talk through coming up broadcasts.
Indeed.
As well.
Yeah. I just hope I don't have a Ron Burgundy moment with some of those, because I saw what some of those looked like in the queue prior to coming on the air. So here's Colombia. Thank you. Munoz, who let the dogs out? Here is Sanchez with it. Now pass it all the way back out to Vargas. Colombia in the lead. Sanchez with the ball. The goal scored by John Arias in the 14th minute. Here is Rodriguez now over to Arias. Arias now trying to cut into the left side. He'll give it into Lerma. I haven't called his name too much tonight, really, Lerma. Rodriguez. Now Arias. Back to Hamas. Now Puerta. Hamas. Now Puerta again. Just on that edge, they could maybe get a cross in. They haven't done it yet. Rodriguez. Trying to do something. Short pass back to Puerta again. Colombia trying to be patient, trying to probe as best they can, but I'll tell you, Ghana has their spaces pretty marked. But then again, with a Queiroz team, you're used to them at least they attempt to be defensively oriented. Lukumi with it. Back to Rodriguez. Colombia has completed 206 of 219 passes. Ghana's completed 43 out of 58. Those are Patrick Mahomes numbers. Season and game. All in one. Party. Ball from Mensah here. And just a little bit too long. So now Colombia trying to play right-hand side. Of course, plenty of World Cup matches. Of course, we're going to have these United States of America, trying to make the quarters for the first time since 2002. We'll have it for you Monday night. Monday Night Football from Seattle, Washington, as the U.S. face Belgium. Party with it now for Ghana. Here's a pass for Mensah to maybe work. Mensah trying to chip it in. It goes long to the other side. Right-hand side, Ghana trying to work, trying to cut to the right. Good defensive tracking for the moment. So trying to get it into the penalty area here. Polku, Williams, does he have a chance? Tried to get the low scuffer, and it was blocked behind for a corner by Mojica. One other thing that when you look at Ghana and Colombia's team sheets, that you'll find very interesting, not a whole lot of representation for these teams from their own domestic leagues. And by that I mean only one each. The only Colombian that plays is Club on Colombia is the former Arsenal keeper Reserkier David Ospina, who plays for Atletico Nacional. Ghana's lone player is reserve keeper Benjamin Asare, who plays for the Ghanaian club Hearts of Oak.
What a name.
Indeed. Indeed, as Kumi now has...
I hope their ground is surrounded by oak trees.
You know, I hope so too. They play at the Accra Sports Stadium. I just took a look at it here on my other screen. I do not believe it's full of oak trees. Anyway, back to the business at hand. It's serious business. As IU's corner kick deflected. Not very clearly, though. Here's Inaki Williams, and he really couldn't do much of anything either. Mensah now slides it away. In the 35th minute, long ball right-hand side. No one for Colombia to chase. Mensah's going to retrieve it.
Is that a stadium on the beach?
Didn't look like it was on the beach, but it might be. I just saw one picture of the stadium in general. Let's party with it now for Ghana. That's Jerome Opoku. Opoku, Ghana now playing it in the back. First ever competitive meeting between these two nations. Right now, Colombia have the edge. 1-0 they lead. Here's a long ball for Ghana on the right-hand side. Is it going to be... Is anybody going to retrieve it? The answer to that question is no. So back to Vargas at goal. Now it is Sanchez. Colombia now with Lerma. Good pass. Rodriguez. Chance for them to attack, maybe. Dispossessed, though. Ghana now with a chance to run against Menu. Try to get a through ball in. Blocked. Ghana, though, do win possession again. This is Mensah. IU with it. Trying to get away from a couple of defenders. And I think actually going to be a foul and a free kick for Ghana here. As IU was clipped by Sanchez. 37th minute. Or I thought it was a foul. No, it's just going to be a throw-in. Here's Mensah. Now it's IU. IU delivering a pretty good ball, but Colombia did have defenders back there retrieving it. Headed forward now by Lucasen. Now Party. Right-hand side. That's to Partey. Had that stinging shot earlier. Good pass again here. Here's a shot from Semenyo. That's clipped over the bar. With a slight deflection over. Should be a Ghana corner. This is better from Ghana here in the last 3 minutes. "37th minute. Aha, yes, that stadium is located on Independence Beach. Good job, JT. JT on the case as always. IU's corner. And it got to nobody. Now here is Urinki. Mensah. So Ghana now have it off the throw-in. Now Colombia trying to run. Now they got numbers on the counterattack, maybe. Space to work with for Luis Diaz, left-hand side. Here's Diaz, cutting into the area. Diaz trying to lay it off. Does for Puerta. Puerta. Thought about a shot. Now he's going to chip it in. Might be a chance for Diaz. And it's just wide of the mark. Well, good idea from Puerta. And Luis Diaz was causing Ghana all sorts of trouble down that left-hand side. Still 1-0 Colombia. Luis Diaz, who has a goal and an assist to his name at these World Cup finals. Thomas Partey now with it for Ghana. Pass through and Ghana immediately now going into the attacking half. Oh, that's I thought it was going to be a good ball, but it was Colombia had last line of defense there. 28 final third entries for Colombia, 12 for Ghana. Touches in the opposition box 5-2 in favor of Colombia. That's where they got a stat for everything. Semenya lays it off, shot from distance and a little bit high and wide, and not particularly handsome from Inaki Williams. He's an interesting one. He was born in Bilbao, Spain, played for Athletic Bilbao from the Basque Country, but as we know, the Basque Country, a lot of people there don't exactly feel Spanish per se. He feels a difference, and he decided that he would go and play for Ghana. Back in 2022, became Ghana became a Ghanaian international team member. Of course, his younger brother Nico, also brought up at Athletic Bilbao, and still plays for them. 2 World Cup qualifying goals. He scored one against Madagascar and another against Chad. No word on if he scored a third or fourth goal against the New York Giants or Brad. But anyway, here comes Colombia. Pass picked off. Those that have watched the movie Madagascar will get the first part of that reference. And the recently married Miss Swift would be involved in the other reference. I know you're shocked I brought her into the conversation. My apologies to a degree. 78-degree thermostat marriage, don't you know? 41st minute. Again, coming up at halftime. You think this is fun? Matthew Owens and JT will be with us. And who knows what kind of hell will break loose when that halftime happens. Here's Puerta. Gives it now to Munoz. Munoz now back to Sanchez. Colombia now passing it to Sanchez. Sanchez. Now it's Lerma. Lerma with a cross. Header just wide of the mark. I think that cross was meant to go a little bit deeper than him, to be honest with you, but his head was almost in the way he figured he might as well adjust, but it's not the best header in the world there from the substitute Suarez. If you're just joining us, John Arias in the 14th has the lone goal of the game. Also, if you're just joining us, each team has already had to use a substitution because of injury. Colombia had John Cordoba injured, so Luis Suarez replaced him, and Ghana had made an injury sub for Marvin Sanaya. He was replaced by Alidu Sidu. 89 degrees and 57% humidity at 9:13 local time. Gives you a sense of the heat wave that has been gripping most of the country last few days. And then there's JT with the substitution graphic one more time for anybody that missed it. JT, goated as always. Here's Suarez. Little chip pass, but it was deflected, and Ghana now hey, possession now with Partey. Now over to Sibo. Now it's Party. Now it goes back to court to IU. IU now to Party. Party with it. Good passing here from Ghana. Now it's Apoko. Now it's Mensah. Apoku again. Lacassin. Lacassin. IU. Spin move. Now over to Mensah. You clipped away, out of play, and whose ball is it? I think it is Colombia's. No, it is Ghana's. How about that? I did get one right. Now here's Ghana on the right-hand side. Chance. Aiming it for a header. Munoz there defensively. Benson now has it. Gives it to Semenyo. Semenyo going to let fly. Deflected. Still bouncing into the area. Another shot at it from Williams blocked. Williams now trying to dribble out of some trouble. Now it is Partey. Now here comes Colombia with Luis Diaz on the run. Could be some trouble for Ghana here. Now here is Puerta. Puerta. Poku now has the ball. Now it goes to Lukumi. We should be getting 45. Real quick, before we get to the 45, JT, how much stoppage time are you guessing we're going to have here? I take that as a no comment from JT. So, guess we'll have to find out on our own without him guessing how much stoppage time there will be. You watch, he'll come up and he'll give the answer then. Make it like he's right. 6 minutes is the additional time. 6 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half. In this one. Now Colombia coming forward again. Pass to Munoz. Space there. Munoz is cross. The header. Oh, what a save! Ziggy with an incredible save. How on world has he kept that out? My goodness, we've seen some great saves today. Good save from Australia. And now a great save here by Ziggy. And now we have a Ghana player down well behind the action, and play has been stopped. It might be Urinki. Oh, Mojica must have thought he had scored and pushed away by Ziggy. What a save. And Colombia had to be thinking, that could have been our moment. Jordan Ayew also getting a little bit of a breather. The injured Ghanaian player comes off. That is Sidu. That's the man who came on as an injury sub in the first place. That is one very eccentric outfit that Colombian fan is wearing. He looks like he's going to he looks like he's doing a 2-for-1. It looks like he's gonna go perform as a Mexican Nacho Libre wrestler, and then he's gonna go follow that by performing in the Redux of Soul Train. So Colombia with a free kick here. Lukumi will probably pass this back. It's one of those fair play deals. Oh, my word. Three of the 6 minutes have been played. With good passing here. Oh, but Ghana have done their fair share. Now they have a chance. Mensa trying to break. Dispossessed. IU had it. Stumbled. Gets it back. Hand side. Pass on the overlap for IU. No. Lakumi able to provide enough cover. So Colombia now with the ball. Munoz with it. Munoz. Pass back to Vargas. Now Colombia. Long ball left-hand side. Trying to get towards Diaz, who's been a nuisance. Sidu back up and healthy and good, and that's good to see. Ziggy clears that one away. Gets it back. Mojica now has it in the opposition half. Now it's Mojica again. It is Mojica, and now Colombia playing it from the back one more time. So now here comes Colombia. Now it's Sanchez. Will there be time for one more Colombian attack? Trying to play it towards Munoz. Decent first, not a great first touch off his head. Kind of went away. Now here comes Ghana with Opoku. Opoku. Now we're into the last minute of the 6. As Suarez pushes Opoku from behind. Now here comes Ghana with with Urinki. Urinki trying to make a good pass. Now here is Semenyo. Semenyo, good acceleration. Semenyo, what a player he is. Best pass, though, and it's going to be cleared away. We've had the 6 minutes. Oh, my God, what a collision. Suarez at Sebo. You might not see a bigger collision at Arrowhead this fall. Oh, my goodness. Whammo. Sanchez, hands to the face, 15 yards, first down Ghana. Holy smoly. Suarez up. Sebo getting up slowly. Rodriguez, the captain, having a chat with Clement Turpin.
They did just lose Trent McDuffie during the offseason here in Kansas City.
Well, maybe they have those guys as 2 replacements. I'm sure that's what Nick Wright was thinking if he was watching this. I'm sure he's all into the World Cup. I mean, he's hosted on TV, but how much of this do we think he's really watching? Here's Semenyo, left-hand side. Now he cuts to his right. And the ball, not a very good one. Colombia have their spaces covered, and now that will be the end of an interesting first half. One dominated possession-wise and reflected on the score sheet by the South American side. John Arias, a cool finish. Colombia could have had a second off, not for a great save by Ziggy. It's been a day of great saves at this World Cup. But again, the South American side trying to punch the last ticket into the round of 16. We played 45 in Kansas City at the break. It's Colombia 1, Ghana 0. And so now we welcome you in to halftime. You see the score there, Colombia. You see the score, Colombia 1, Ghana 0. And Matthew Owens is as refreshed as he possibly can be. I don't know if it's completely there, but Matthew, your thoughts on the first half? This is kind of, I think, as expected. It was expected that Colombia was going to have a lot of possession. They took more shots than anybody in the group stage. Ghana with Kiros, the team that took the least amount of shots in the group stage. This has kind of gone as expected, and that early goal was giving Colombia even more of a shot in the arm here.
Yeah, Colombia's been. I've thought Colombia's been impressive in this World Cup. There's been other pundits that have said differently. Um, I've found Colombia to be quite good so far during this World Cup, and yeah, this is an expected scoreline from what we anticipated coming in, and see if Ghana can come from behind in the second half.
Well, let's go on and let's talk about the games earlier today. And I usually like to go in chronological order, but there's no way I'm doing that. We've got to start with the match that Matthew had earlier. What a scene. What drama in Miami. It was one of the maybe the biggest, I would say the biggest ever David versus Goliath knockout stage match in World Cup history, surpassing probably one Ghana played in against Brazil back in 2006. Argentina and Cape Verde, it was the beauty of sport. Messi scored on 29 minutes. You thought Argentina have got the early goal. They're going to cruise. Then came DeRoy Duarte in the 59th minute. That made it 1-1. We went to extra time. 2 minutes in, Lautaro Martinez made it 2-1. You thought, okay, Argentina are going to get the job done. But then Sidney Cabral with the Puskas Award winner, if you ask me, an absolute stunning goal to make it 2-2. But then heartbreak. Denis Borges gets credited as the unlucky soul with an own goal on 111 minutes. A brave Cape Verde run. Argentina, Spain, Uruguay, none of them could beat Cape Verde in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But after 120, they're set packing, Matthew Owens. Argentina, the champs, advance with a 3-2 win. You had the game. Has it sunk in yet?
Yeah, no, it hasn't. I don't get the sense that it will for a bit. I've seen so very little of the first half of this game. Because all I can do is just I can't move on from this last game. And I'm gonna attempt to not get emotional here because I got a little emotional at the end of that stream, which I do apologize for. But it really is just what sport is all about, and like I know it's easy for people on the outside in the quote unquote normal world to look at us people that love sports as much as we do, and we say things like, sports just, it brings us together as, the human race, and they probably hear us say all of this stuff and they think that, we're full of it. um but the World Cup is one of the things that just transcends all of humanity, and what we had tonight is, there really aren't any words for it. um yeah, it's just it's one of the best things. I've been thinking, because I knew obviously you'd ask me about it at halftime. I've been thinking about what words I wanted to say about it, and I really can't come up with any. I will say that, and this is another thing that the people in the quote unquote normal world probably think I'm over exaggerating and over embellishing. I've said it already during this World Cup, and if you are a believer, as I am, of God, um, I have already thought multiple times during this World Cup how I feel blessed by God that I have been put on this earth on this planet and in this country in particular to witness this World Cup on home soil for us Americans and Canadians and Mexicans. Um, Tonight is a game that I think we look back on in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, at the end of all of our lives that witnessed it and say we were blessed to witness it. Um, as far as the game itself, like the X's and O's and the moving on of Argentina, like there's going to be people that say Argentina's got a lot to work on and all of that. I think, I mean, we seen what Spain did yesterday, as Matt White called it here on the channel, didn't need to get out of second gear to beat Austria 3-0. That's the same Spain that couldn't score a goal against Cape Verde and could not beat them. I don't think any of this goes down as Argentina are broken, Argentina need fixing, this is, Argentina are in trouble. I don't think it's any of that. I just think it's what we have seen from Cape Verde this entire World Cup. And just give them all the credit in the world for what they did and what they have shared with us during this World Cup. It is truly a blessing to watch. Um, I'll also say that last goal, the winner, I do we really need to list that? This is semantics. Do we really need to list that as an own goal? It was not. It was not going to be saved had it not hit Dine's hand. I think that's cruel to Dine. That it's listed on his name as an own goal. It's going to be a goal whether it hit his hand or not. So I'm I'm on a very small level, just frustrated with that because I don't think Dine deserves that. But
Yeah.
that's that's I'm staggering along here because I don't know how to end this. It's one of the great things I've ever seen in my life.
What a moment indeed it was for Cape Verde. They go home, but they have nothing to be ashamed of, and I better not be seeing any tears from anybody, at least sad tears. Argentina through though, and they will take on, as you see the bracket, they'll meet Egypt, who won on penalties today over Australia. First knockout stage win for the Egyptians, despite winning AFCON 7 times. It's a bit of a surprising statistic. Imam Ashur gave Egypt the lead at the 13th minute. Mohamed Hani's own goal made it 1-1. So honors even. It went to penalties. Egypt scored all 4. Sutar and Harrington couldn't score. And so it's Egypt through. And Mo Salah, he's been great at club level, and now he gets a big win for his country as Egypt get a shot at Argentina. Mo versus Messi in the last 16 on Tuesday.
And as we've seen in this World Cup and already tonight, you don't say that anything's impossible. So let's see what happens Tuesday.
You see the bracket right there. Canada, Morocco, Paraguay, France, United States, Belgium, and Portugal, Spain on the left side. On the right side, Brazil, Norway, Mexico, England, Argentina, Egypt, and then Switzerland against the winner of this one. We'll talk about the round of 16 a little bit after the match. Matthew, I want to get your thoughts as we see this game. As you see there again, there you see Canada, Morocco. That'll be tomorrow, 1 Eastern, right here on the channel. Yours truly will have the call of that one. Then back to Big Mo at 5 as Paraguay try to stop Kylian Mbappe and France. Me talking to a supermodel might actually be easier than that. Then Sunday, 4 o'clock Eastern, Brazil and Norway. That should be an interesting matchup. Erling Haaland is in his Ella Langley era, choosing Texas. I can tell you that right now. And then the Euro 400, Sunday night at 6. NASCAR makes its return to the Chicagoland Speedway. Again, 6 Eastern Sunday night for the stars of NASCAR.
And then
we
have Sunday night football.
We do. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, that has been a thing. If you see there, Mexico and England. now apparently back on for 8 o'clock Sunday night in what I think is going to be the biggest atmosphere of this entire tournament.
Yeah.
It is going to be absolutely insane. England walking into the Azteca. They're English footballers that have probably played at grounds like Ellen Road, that played at Red Star Belgrade, played at Galatasaray. I don't think they realize what they're walking into. Again, we'll talk more about the future at the end, but let's see if there's anything else that.
Oh God.
There's a lot more, but once again, there is your Sunday night football for this week.
Monday, 3 o'clock, the Battle of Iberia, Portugal against Spain. No love lost there.
You had the last time they played at a World Cup.
I sure did. And then Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
The United States.
I don't have the ESPN ABC.
You need to though. You can work on that. U.S. and Belgium Monday at 8, and then there you see Tuesday noon Eastern. We won't tell the boss you took an extended lunch. Argentina against Egypt, and then Switzerland against the winner of this game. Your way. And
are you okay, Matthew?
Like the
Eastern
graphics are
times.
like never ending.
Matthew Owens is having a coronary, and then with the graphics, and then you see our quarterfinal coverage begins Thursday from 4 Eastern. Could it be a game that splits Montreal, France and Canada? Who knows? And then maybe the U.S. will be in this one. Friday, July 10th, 3 Eastern. The Americans or the Belgians against either the Spanish or the Portuguese.
It's Kevin De Bruyne, the Belgium.
Yeah. Brazil, Norway versus Mexico, England. That's Saturday. That's next Saturday, July 11th from 5 Eastern time.
God.
And then prime time. It's World Cup Saturday night with Fallout Boy. It'll be Argentina.
Saturday.
Yeah. That'll be a quarterfinal Saturday night, 9 o'clock.
We can remove someone, unfortunately, from the occasion under that one.
I was going to say, I think you need to put EGP instead of ESP there because it's not Spain, it's Egypt. That Argentina will be playing there. So.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah,
I am only going off of the information that I have been provided.
Well, okay.
This is probably wrong information for me.
Oh my God,
There we go.
And so that's your quarterfinals. That'll be Saturday, July 11th at 9 Eastern, and then
you think he's done?
Who against who? That'll be Tuesday, July 14th at 3 Eastern in the semifinals. And then someone versus someone. That's Wednesday, July 15th at 3 Eastern time. Then the two semifinal losers will play in sports' most meaningless match, the third place match, the World Cup. This is not the Olympics. You don't get bronze medal, and then I am not going to try and read that small print. Actually, I am. The best from the left side of the bracket against the best from the right side of the bracket.
Jesus.
You stay classy, San Diego. That's July 19th at 3 Eastern.
God almighty.
The final of the World Cup. Matthew, before we go back on, quick thoughts on the round of 32 in general. I mean, just about every one of these games have been box office.
I mean, jeez, no kidding. I know that we as a society, especially when we change things, we're so quick to think of all the ways it could go wrong. This round has delivered in so many ways. And I know there's cynics out there. Oh, should Canada and South Africa be a knockout game in a World Cup? That waters down the World Cup. Does it? Does it? Because that game between Canada and South Africa, Seth, ended with a 92nd minute winner, and it might only be the 6th best game of this round. Damn. So, let's not go into everything thinking that we're gonna hate it. How about that?
I'm all for that, but it's difficult for some people. Hey, and we know some of these people, the legions of the miserable,
Right.
is what they can be called. All right, Matthew, you can catch your breath a little bit more. We'll talk to you later and look ahead to some of these round of 16 ties. At the end of this one,
Just
Colombia
quickly,
has.
I can't wait for Matt White to see those graphics on Monday.
God. Yeah. By the way, all right, JT. By the way, while you need to cook again, because Colombia have made a second
Look
substitution
at the screen.
of the match. Okay, well, I'm looking at. Okay, hold up. There you go. You see it right there.
I don't
JT
need
is.
to cook. I have cooked.
He's one step ahead as usual. It is Richard Rios who's coming in for James Rodriguez. Richard Rios has come on as a substitute. Well, they need a fire extinguisher. That's the big question. 26-year-old Richard Rios plays for Benfica. That's a reference that flies over JT's head. But he was the Campeonato Paulista Team of the Year in 2025. And so now we get a foul right away. Jordan Ayew committing it. Colombia going from right to left of the second half as you watch. They're in the yellow shirts. The white-shirted Black Stars of Ghana will be going from left to right. And it's the Ghanaians who have a free kick here. Trying to get this directed in. Here's Ayew. Gonna play that one short. Oh boy, this is a little cheeky training ground technique that doesn't even come close to working. My goodness. Right-hand side now. Here is Nico Williams. Not Nico, Inaki Williams. Inaki Williams is cross. It's only partially dealt with. It came back to Partey, and then out it goes. Winner to Vancouver to play Switzerland in the round of 16 on Tuesday. As you just heard us say in that lovely graphics rundown. Maybe we can win a sports Emmy for that rundown. I don't know. If Dan Patrick can't win a sports Emmy, I don't think I have much of a chance either. Here comes Colombia now. Huerta trying to win possession. Gonna now steal it back. Lucasen committing the foul. Free kick, Mojica. As we mentioned earlier, Colombia has won 11 straight World Cup matches in which they have scored first, and they have the only goal, 14th minute from John Arias. When leading at halftime in World Cups, 5 wins, 1 defeat. They almost had a second goal. And it was the substitute, Rios, who nearly provided it. Good flowing move. Rios had a go. It went just wide of Ziggy, and then just wide of the goal. So now here is Ziggy with this Ghanaian goal kick. Colombia now in a 4-3-3 shape. Rios slotting in to James' role, and Cordoba being replaced in the center of that three-pronged attack by Suarez. By the way, Arias, the goal scorer, also has a yellow card. Ghana trying to get on the run. Could Semenyo chase it? Not quite. Still could be there for him. But it's going to land into the safe hands of Camilo Vargas. Ghana in a 4-1-2-3 shape with Ziggy in goal. Sanaya replaced and Sidu takes his role. Partey playing as that one holding midfielder. Semenyo, Ayew, and Williams, the 3 in attack. But we haven't done a whole lot. And we get a yellow card here. And it's going to go against the Ghana number 3, Caleb Urinki, 20-year-old who plays his club football in Denmark for Nordsjælland. Scored the only goal in their 1-0 win against Panama. in their group stage match, scored the winner, as it were, and that as a late winner. Had a great year for Nordsjælland. He was named the Danish Superliga Player of the Year and was also in the Danish Superliga Team of the Year. For Nordsjælland's side, who finished third in the Danish league and qualified for Europe into the Conference League next season. Here's Suarez. It's so now here is Ghana with Seydu. Long ball. Now here is Urinki, and he gets clipped. Lerma. Kumi with it now. Kumi, Colombia now playing it back in their own half. Looking for a good ball down the right-hand side. Rios giving chase, and Poku ends up in a scramble. I think he eventually won it, but now it goes back to Colombia on a throw-in. Right-hand side, not a very good cross. And the Poku dispossessed, and it should be a goal kick for Ghana. Both sets of fans enjoying themselves. In Kansas City, who will be having to use their passports again and heading to Vancouver in the last 16. Colombia for now, but Ghana trying to show some attacking. Here a presence. Urenki with a ball in. Not a very good ball in, and it's sliced away for a Ghana throw-in. Throws back to Sibo. Ghana have 4 subs left. Colombia have 3. Poku. Lucasen. I want to thank Pierre Moss for giving me the proper pronunciation of that name earlier in the evening. Pierre's a godsend, I tell you. Got a team of godsends here between Pierre and JT and Matthew. It make me look better than I am. Semenyo across the face of goal. No one was there to get a touch. Well, that's better from Ghana. You know, you might want to design some play. You might want to change your tactics at this rate and have more situations to get number 11 the ball. He's pretty good on it. Mojica. Now here is Diaz. Goes to Mojica again. Colombia inside their own half. What a great Colombia with possession again here as we approach the 55th minute of play. Oh, there's a good ball for Colombia, but Lucasen provided just enough shielding there to make sure that the Colombian attacker Diaz couldn't get it. It wasn't Diaz, it was Suarez. Oh boy, yeah, Suarez had his shirt tugged. We've seen some shirt tugging in this game. Colombia played this corner short. Bending one, and what a save, Ziggy! Puerta! Trying to do his best Sidney Cabral impersonation. Ziggy, though, with a really good save to keep it at 1-0. What a strike that would have been from Puerta. And that's a defender. He's only scored once prior to this World Cup. Puerta, who plays in the Spanish second division for Racing Santander. Also made appearances for Bayer Leverkusen and Hull City. Throw in for Colombia. Headed away, and then a shot that goes way off and way out of play. But my goodness. I mean, Ghana are down, but it could be worse had it not been for the exploits of one Lawrence A.T. Ziggy. But the Black Stars still find themselves in a 1-0 hole here. And all that sloppy from Ghana, dispossessed. Colombia now with space. Puerta, good pass. Opportunity, Diaz! Sit in, 2-0. No, it's not going to be 2. The flag's going to go up very late. I see the flag going up, and there it is. I wondered if Diaz might have been offside. And good job, JT, not putting up that graphic. He is on it. Oh, yeah, he did put it up. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Give you credit. Anyway, it was very sloppy. Ghana are very lucky. I'll put it to you that way. That was very sloppy. It was a scuff shot, and yeah, Diaz is offside. Good finish, but he was offside. Diaz argues, but Luis, my friend, I believe you're going to lose that argument when you see the videotape. I said Wilmer. I meant Carlos Valderrama. That's who that looked like. I guess it's him, the famous Colombian goalkeeper from ages ago. One of the more eccentric goalkeepers we've ever had in world football. So it's still 1-0 to Colombia. Sanchez. Now Ghana playing a little bit of a high-pressing game here. Arias now has it back in his own defensive half. Arias. Oh, and another ball here. Oh, it's a good touch for Puerta. Can he tee it up? Here's Diaz. Good save by Ziggy. Party away. And again, Ziggy keeps Ghana in the game. With it now for Ghana. Now it goes here to Seydu. Ayew. Ghana now trying to patiently work something in perhaps here. Here is Lucasen. Williams. Good ball in. Oh, it was a diving header. Oh, Semenya, not a great touch, but he's kept it alive, trying to find Cebu. Sebo was dispossessed at another foul, another tackle, and this is going to be a foul as Suarez goes down. They're getting there, Ghana. They're doing all they can. They're going to have to come at it with a little bit more, obviously, but at least there is an attacking intent here at the end. Not the end, and World Feed confirming the offside call against Luis Diaz. Gonna have some more substitute Sibo. Now a little bit of pain. Play resumes as we near an hour. Gonna try to win. Foul here in Ghana. So Ghana with a free kick. We have played an hour. Still a ways away. Still about 6 minutes or so from a hydration break. Play now by Munoz. Now it's Arias for Colombia. Arias, good ball to find Diaz. Pretty good first touch. Diaz trying to get past the defender who covers back. And the defender just does cover back, and that was excellent work from Ghana. Semenyo trying to get it done at both ends. Incredible work rate, and it's on his face after a collision with Richard Rios. Hour gone. Colombia 1, Ghana 0. World Cup on Ultimate Sports Media. And now a double change for Ghana. Race has been run for Inaki Williams. You'll see the graphics come in just a minute. As coming on will be Abdul Fatawu. And Sibo also coming off. And he'll be replaced by Alicia Owusu. So, double change for Ghana. Fatawu, 22-year-old who plays his club football, at least at the time of the World Cup, for Leicester City in England, who had a mare of a season, to put it mildly. Might get worse before it gets better. Fatawu is pushed from behind right away. Owusu plays his club ball in France for Auxerre. Fatawu winning the final call. Currently still with Leicester for now, but you wonder if he will get looks to go with other teams, being that it's a pretty big wage bill for Leicester to clear as well. He did score Leicester's goal of the season this year, so there is that. Scored from his own half in a 3-1 win against Ipswich 12 days before Christmas. That goal was worth more than a partridge in a pear tree. Gonna win possession here. Chance for them to go forward, maybe, and not really good pass. As to the other sub, Owusu plays for Auxerre. Now, he's on contract with them until June of next year. Colombia still leading it 1-0. They got the goal from Jean Arias. They look threatening. It's a little bit end-to-end, interestingly enough. Arias trying to feed it to Munoz and could not. 64th minute. Again, you see on your screen there. Round of 16 play begins tomorrow afternoon with Canada and Morocco, followed by Paraguay against France. France trying to make a third straight World Cup final. Last time that happened, Brazil, 94-98, no 2. Here is Fatawu. Can he keep it in? No, he cannot. By the way, in those 3 finals for Brazil, it was win, loss, win. So if you're following trends in your French, there's a good omen for you. Won it in 18, lost In 22, they get back to the final. That means win. It was, of course, an American World Cup. It was a part of that. Not the end part of it, but the start part of it. So, some parallels, perhaps. See, they play like an old school Brazilian. It's called their flair and attack. I mean, they so loaded. Zayu, it's dispossessed. Mojica. Mojica and Fatawu now have come off here, and Fatawu is trying to throw some water on him, and this, I don't know if this is going to be a hydration break, or is it not? I don't know, because we're back 2 minutes, so we're not quite at where it usually is.
I believe it's because he got a direct ball with some force to the head.
Yeah, there you go. That would do that. Here's Fatawu. He runs forward. Fatawu, and behind by Puerta, and then out of play. Whose ball is it? It's going to be Colombia's ball, much to the chagrin of Fatawu. Oh, no, he committed a foul, and he got booked the substitute. That's why he was raging at Clement Turpin. Oh, he is incensed. Does he have a right? Well, yeah, it's a boot to the up to the midsection. Does Puerta sell it a little bit? Yeah, but again, going back to what we talked about, what I heard Matthew and JT talk about with the Flo Balogun red card the other night. It's a letter of the law type deal. Here's Colombia on the left-hand side. Mojica. Trying to play it in. Now gets it to Puerta. Now Lerma. Lerma shakes off the defender, and now a pass back. Again, should be getting the break any minute now. That might be why Colombia is just kind of basic passing it around right now. Here is Mojica. Now it's a back pass. It's going to get all the way back out to Vargas. Colombia now with it on the right-hand side. Diaz. Good pass. We're now trying to string it together in the midfield, but Ghana defend it well, and they win possession back. Trying to run with it here is Urinki. He got dispossessed. Saidu with it now. Saidu, this is dangerous from Ghana in the back. Got to be careful. Lucasen now passes it. We're in the 68th minute, and still no sign of the hydration break as of yet. 68th minute. About to be the 69th. This is going to be a very late hydration break. One of the latest ones we've had, I feel like, at this tournament.
We had one in the 74th minute earlier, but the ball has to go out of play in a neutral area for it to be a hydration break. They can't just call it in the middle of play.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. They do. Ghana now with it inside their own half into the 69th minute. Now Lucasen. Fatawu. Now it's Fatawu. Now Fatawu cuts to the left. And the ball is sliced away. Still not 100% clear. Here's Semenyo. Semenyo dribbling through. Good run. Semenyo shot blocked. Second chance wide from Partey. Well, Semenyo showing you his skill right there. But wide of the mark it went for Partey for the second time tonight. A good block there by Sanchez. Putting himself into the firing line, if you will. And now the second hydration break does come in the 70th minute as you see the orbit of the stadium in Kansas City. And JT, I know it's late over there. Again, I can't say enough how much we appreciate you. It's just amazing what you do, and we do appreciate all the work you do. And we hope you're enjoying the game. It's been a good one so far. As we're closing in American here on birthday number 250. I know it's technically over there in the UK. It is July 4th now, but as far as America in the Eastern time zone, we're 56 minutes away from the big 250. As
04:04 a.m. The only reason why I'm still awake is because I'm showing Matthew something after the broadcast had ended. If I wasn't showing Matthew stuff after the broadcast had ended, I would be asleep by now.
Okay. So you really don't care about me, you just care about Matthew.
Well, I'm also here to do graphics because Matthew's taking a break.
Well, exactly. Yeah, because indeed. Well, so your thoughts on this World Cup so far, JT? Have you been enjoying? Okay, besides the fact of England stressing you out, have you been enjoying the tournament?
It's all been under control from the England camp, just about for now, until Sunday night football. But yeah, it's been overall, it's been an absolutely incredible World Cup.
Indeed, it has. So out of the break, it looks as if it's going to be a substitution for Colombia. And John Arias, the goal scorer, is going to be withdrawn here. And coming on in his place will be Juan Fernando Quintero, 33 years of age, veteran of a couple of World Cups and many a battle on the Colombian side of things. Quintero playing his club football in Argentina for River Plate. Quintero, 6 goals he scored. He has scored in 2 other World Cups. He scored 1 against the Ivory Coast in 2014. He scored 1 against Japan in 2018. And he scored a 3rd different World Cup. Maybe seal Colombia's passage into the last 16 with it. Long ball here. Colombia trying to get on the attack. Now, back it goes. From the right-hand side. That's a very good ball. Fortunately, the end product was not there from Diaz. That was a really good ball, though, by Richard Rios. Had a lot of swerve on it. I guess I can't say really good because it didn't quite hit the target, but the intentions were good, but then again, they say the road to hell is paved with them. So on we go in the 74th minute. Trying to play it long towards IU. Time starting to become an issue now for Ghana. Their World Cup stay could be on the verge of ending. Found a free kick to Ghana, or to Colombia. The referee pointed that way, but all right, it's a free kick to Ghana. Play it short. There will be no World Cup after hours with JT on USM. I can tell you that right now. Here's Semenyo trying to keep it in. Saw because the World Feed gave us their after hours promo, and we're not. Yeah. You'd like to hear us talk after hours, wouldn't you? Here is Semenyo as Munoz Gets a boot in the way. Colombian fans daring to dream. Again, Switzerland await the winner of this one in Vancouver after Switzerland cruised to a 2-0 win over Algeria late last night. Here's Fatawu now, left-hand side. Magno with it now. Ghana trying to come up with something. Good move. Now back left-hand side. Cross whipped in. It is headed away. Now Colombia now with a chance to run. Here is Quintero. On the break finds Suarez. Suarez now back to Quintero, right-hand side. Quintero now giving it up. Now here comes Puerta now back to Quintero. Quintero and a foul as Mojica got clipped from behind. He is down. Foul committed by Sidu, one of the substitutes. Each team with 2 subs remaining. I think we're getting a yellow card here. Yes, we are. So a yellow for Sidu. That's the 6th Ghanaian foul this match. Colombia have committed 10 of them. Now a free kick here for Colombia. 76th minute. About to go into the 77th. Here is a... Oh boy, he went for goal from that far out, did Quintero. He did score, if memory serves. That goal he scored against Japan in 18 was a low free kick. Again, that's if memory serves, which maybe it doesn't serve. I don't know. Here is Semenyo now for Ghana. Finds Fatawu on the right-hand side. Fatawu looking to get the cross. Fatawu on the run. Fatawu cut off by Mojica. Long ball for Colombia out of the defensive half. Ghana have not had a single shot on goal. They've actually had 8 shots overall, just 1 fewer than Ghana. Or than Colombia, I'm sorry. Ghana are preparing to make their last 2 subs. They have 2 players on the touchline ready to come on. I'll tell you who they are when they come on. It's Diaz now gives it up. Now Colombia trying to break here with Lerma. And then the pass and touch, a bit too heavy for Diaz. Gonna get possession right back. And Fatawu gets pushed from behind by Rios. And the substitute for Colombia, Richard Rios, will now see yellow. So now Ghana are making their final changes here. And coming on are going to be, for the Ghanaians, Ernest Nuwama, number 24, number 25, Prince Kwabena Adu. Ayu and Urenki, the 2 that will make way. So Ghana have now used their allotment of substitutes. We'll tell you more about those 2 coming up in a matter of minutes. Good chip ball left-hand side, and Adu trying to get set free, and Adu, he thought he kept it in, but he committed a foul on Sanchez. Prince Kwabena Adu, he's 22 years of age, only had 5 caps prior to this World Cup. Plays his club football in Czechia for Victoria Pilsen, was included in the Guardians Next Generation 2020 footballers. He's played, to say he's had a unique career path would be interesting. He started playing his career in Ghana. He then played in Belarus and Ukraine before going to Czechia. course, Ernest Nuama, the other one, 22-year-old, plays for Lyon in the French league. Of course, had an injury last season. Here's Diaz on the run for Colombia, and his shot is blocked, and it's behind for a corner. Into the 80th we go. Colombia with the cornering. You know, at this rate, it's just about anywhere goes. Here we go. Here's the header. Oh, what a save again! Sanchez, and at point-blank range. Ziggy, I'm not 100% sure how he's kept that out. That is wild. How he has kept that out. Now Ghana trying to push forward here. Here's Nuama. Long cross, and no one there to meet it. Well, late match drama has been the order of this World Cup. I think I heard a stat over 20 goals have been scored in stoppage time. That's pretty wild. Here's Diaz now for Colombia, and Diaz trying to stay alive, and the flag's up. Stay alive in the play, of course. But the flag is up. 82nd minute. Here's another long ball to get Fernando. Oh, that's not a very good touch by Colombia. Here's Fatawu into the penalty area, and he loses possession. Oh, my word. Now here comes Ghana. They went back. It's Fatawu. Fatawu delivered cross in, and Vargas with the save. A save indeed. Has that kept Colombia in this World Cup? That does remain to be seen, but for right now, but Ghana still pushing forward now. Nuama now trying to give it up, and good job again defensively. And now Colombia could be on a run forward here. Maybe or maybe not. Who knows? Colombia now have possession inside their half yet again. They run here. Here is a stinging shot for distance, and that would have been rather spectacular by Quintero if that had gone in. Alas, it did not. '85th minute. Time becoming an issue here between Colombia and Ghana. Colombia leading by a goal to nil. Ghana running out of time. Now going down is Luckerson. 85th. Colombia with 12 shots. Of those 12 shots, half of them have been on goal. Fatawu, anything and anywhere will do now if you're Ghana. Chip ball. Fatawu trying to keep it in. Mojica gets the job done, though. 5 minutes to go. Now another pass in, and Colombia again defend that one pretty well. Now Colombia have it in the second half, and they'll just try to, I don't know if waste time is the right word, but they'll try to take some time and, just kind of work it out. Long ball cleared. It gets away. Job done. Colombia now with it in the attacking half. Only chipped. And now here's Diaz into the area, and it's deflected, and it's out of play. 87th minute. Colombia trying to keep it alive. Ghana, though, they're going to win possession back, or are they? Nuama goes down. And a foul committed by Diaz, maybe? We're in the 87th, about to be the 88th minute. Ghana in possession. Is John Arias' goal going to be enough? Ghana come forward. It goes to Fatawu. Fatawu curling one, and why? I think he committed a foul anyway. So now, be it giving it Puerta. He's putting in a good shift. So now chipped in for Colombia. Trying anywhere will do, as I just mentioned, but Ghana still not 100% out of the, or Colombia still not 100% out of the woods. We're into the 89th minute. Ghana now in possession. Luckerson. Luckerson with a pass. Partey now will give it up. And pass a little bit too strong for Adu. And it goes out of play. Into the 89th minute. Ghana fans starting to get just a little bit pensive, apprehensive, knowing that time's running out. Colombia fans are a little bit nervous, hoping their team can hang on and reach the last 16 in a date with Switzerland in Vancouver on Monday. Tuesday, I beg your pardon. Sorry, my mistake. Wusu with the pass. Ghana with it inside their own half. 89 on the clock. Long chip ball for Fatawu. Now Colombia are going to make their penultimate change of the match here. It's going to be Jamington Campaz, and he will replace the electric Luis Diaz. It is a forward for a forward. Diaz looking might have gotten poked in the eye there. Campaz, 26-year-old, plays his club football at Argentina for Rosario Central. Scored his first World Cup goal in the 99th minute in their opening win against Uzbekistan. It was Colombia's latest ever regulation time goal at a World Cup match when he scored that. I'm trying to keep it in with a do. Ghana's getting there. They just can't, they're getting close, but they're getting close to the area, but they just cannot find anything in the attacking third. Rios goes down. We've played the 90. How much stoppage time will there be? 6 minutes, says the referee, says the fourth official. 6 minutes for Ghana to save themselves. A World Cup that has been chock full of late twisted turns. Are we about to get another one? Apparently, Colombia made a sub that we did not pick up on, or I did not pick up on, I should say. Apologies for not looking at the screen, JT. I just, sometimes things happen. So, Campaz, Quintero, Rios, and so the graphic must be wrong then, because the graphic says Colombia's out of subs. Matters little in the grand scheme of things. Here's Rios. Now it's Puerta. Puerta with space. Puerta now. Gets it to Campaz. Campaz trying to play it. And blocked, and only as far as Campaz. Now back to Quintero. Got a great ball from Quintero. And it goes wide of the goal, the head of Rios. And Rios is shaking up a little bit. This might add just a little bit of time to the proceedings here. Foul. And while they're taking the Colombian fans enjoying themselves on the verge of a massive knockout stage win. Carlos Queiroz giving instruction to some of his Ghanaian players, to his players. Play resumes. Long ball up ahead. Is it going to get to Arias? It is. Ghana have actually had more final third entries, but Colombia with way more touches in the opponent box. Again, stat, hashtag stat for everything. Nearing the halfway point of the 6 minutes, but again, with this injury stuff, if we had, they might get a minute or two extra. Who knows? Colombia, though, have it on the attack right-hand side. They're just trying to get some passes strung out. Here's another chip ball punched away by Ziggy, who's had a very admirable performance in goal tonight, it must be said. Kumi now for Colombia is going to try to push it. And it did not work. Approaching the 95th minute. And again, Colombia just heck bent on taking their time. Another chip ball coming through. Oh, it's bounced in. Campaz is behind it. And he's scuffed it over the bar. This is it now for Ghana. This is now or never. And playing from the back, you're not going to waste any of that. Oh, that was poor. Very poor. And Colombia had possession. Sanchez with it. This is why you don't play from the back all the time, especially not in a situation like this. Right-hand side. Now Zeke, long clearance. Anywhere will do for Colombia. They've gotten it cleared away one more time. And now they have it inside. Here it comes with Suarez, who cuts and has a shot blocked. And he goes only as far back as Puerta. Mensah trying to chase, and Mensah. 90 clock now showing 95 minutes. A little past 95, actually now, as it were. Shot, and Ziggy with a save. But now, it's now or never. You got to go long if you're Ghana. 24 seconds left. And again, a not-so-good clearance. And now Campaz running forward for Colombia. Campaz went for the spectacular from a tight angle. Ziggy made the save. Ghana have the ball. Trying to get away, and pulled from behind was Fatawu. We've just about had the 6 minutes. How much more will there be? How much more can there be? Another foul and a free kick, and I believe it's going to go to Colombia. Colombia fans now waiting for the final whistle. About ready to explode off that bench. Colombia have possession. It goes all the way back out to Vargas. Again, maybe a minute extra because of that injury that happened at the start of stoppage time. Throw in Ghana. Semenyo. Will there be one more chance? Semenyo. The pass. And what? Ghana's going backwards. You got to go the other way, son. That was a waste. Now into the 98th minute. And Colombia are just going to be patient as can be. Suarez. Now it's Puerta. Puerta, Mojica. Now it is Campaz. And Campaz. Suarez. Long ball away, Ghana. Ghana kick it away. No one can make any proper contact. Full time it is. And Colombia fill the final ticket into the last 16. Next stop, Vancouver, and a date with Switzerland. Jean Arias, his 14th minute goal. Enough. Spare a thought for the continent of Africa, who had such a great group stage. Sent 9 of their 10 teams through to the round of 32. But only 2 could survive. And almost all of them have suffered some real tough, heartbreaking defeats. But at the same time, it's hard to argue if you can have that much sympathy for Ghana because, quite frankly, they just did not and could not cut it in the final third. The Arias goal the difference. South America will meet Europe in Vancouver. Full time at Kansas City. It's finished Colombia 1 and Ghana 0. Let's see if we can bring, as you see the bracket now. We have a bracket, and JT zooming in on the fly. We now have a Sweet 16.
That was not me.
That was not you. Okay. All right. That was technology then. It was Matthew, probably. I don't know. Anyway, there's your bracket. We're down to a Sweet 16, as I mentioned. Let's see if we can bring Matthew Owens in for some final thoughts on this match and the round of 16. Matthew, Colombia through. I think it's safe to say they were deserved winners. Ghana just did not have it in the final third.
Nope, did not all game, and definitely not at the end either.
Yeah, some of the, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what that was at the back. All right. As quickly as possible, we have a round of 16. It's set. It will begin tomorrow with Canada against Morocco, and then France against Paraguay. Those will be at 1 o'clock, Canada, Morocco, 1 o'clock Eastern in Houston, and then at 5 o'clock in Philadelphia. Sunday, 4 Eastern in New York, New Jersey, Brazil against Norway, and then 8 o'clock, we think, Mexico, England, NASCAR in between, by the way. As you see on your graphic screen there, we see Mexico, England now, and JT's eloquently worded point about the time changes. That'll be in the Azteca, Iraq atmosphere expected. Monday, 3 Eastern, the Battle of Iberia. That's in Dallas with Portugal, Spain. And then the USA against Belgium, 8 o'clock in Seattle. Tuesday, it finishes up with Argentina versus Egypt, high noon in Atlanta. And then Switzerland against Colombia at 4 o'clock in Vancouver. There's your round of 16, Matthew. What sticks out to you in this round?
U.S. and Belgium without Balogun is obviously going to be a challenge for the United States that they have not dealt with in a meaningful game in this World Cup. Portugal and Spain gets obviously a ton of headlines for good reason. Tomorrow's games are spectacular. France and Paraguay, France have looked unstoppable, but Paraguay got the kind of game on a day in Philadelphia where high temperature is expected to be 107 degrees. Paraguay, the kind of game.
And that's not on the field either. That's
No,
air temperature.
Yeah. So Paraguay may be the kind of game to maybe stress France a little bit. So all 8 of these games are obviously going to have a life of its own. Can't wait for, obviously, every single one of them. Brazil and Norway, too, is a headliner. And then maybe the best of them all is Mexico and England at the Azteca, at the home of the Hand of God. The atmosphere is going to be off the charts good.
Cannot wait for that. So, all right, Matthew, that's it. JT, you have any? Real quick? You have any final thoughts on the round of 32 and a look ahead to the last 16?
It's been a good round of 32. Let's hope it continues into the round of 16 and the quarterfinals.
We are going to leave it there. So it's set, and this tournament that began with the expanded 48 is now shrinking. Only a couple of more weeks left in this World Cup, if you can believe it. Down to a Sweet 16, as we are now officially on World Cup watch again. So the round of 16 is set after the final score at Arrowhead. Colombia 1, Ghana 0. For Pierre Moss, who chipped in at the end of the last game, thanks to him for hanging out for a little bit. And thanks to the 2 goats of what they do. Matthew Owens, who worked on his other skill, his other hidden talent as a producer tonight. And, of course, the immaculate, incomparable, irrepressible JT.
That added skill being hyperventilation, of course, for Matthew after that Argentina game.
Hey, ladies, he does it all. For Matthew, for JT, I'm Seth Eaves. So long. Colombia win 1-0. We're down to 16 at this World Cup journey. See you tomorrow. Good night.